Hi everyone, it's Melissa with PPS Education Technology. Let me get up my lower third. And today we have a Hangout help session scheduled. So we're just going to do one real quick because I have a class to teach right after this. So I'm going to be on here to see if anyone has any questions or tips they'd like to share with the rest of the district. So I've got, if you recall, if you're a familiar watcher of these Hangouts, in the top right corner, you've got the waffle icon. And if you click on that, you've got the Showcase app and the Q&A app. So you just need to click the Q&A app, and then you can submit your question. So we do have some exciting news, and I guess I'll just go ahead and let you all know what that news is right now. But we have Chromebook printing available now, which is awesome. So let me just show you how you would find it. So it is live now for all of staff only. So if I share my screen here, we're going to go to a sample document. So here we've got our document, and let's say I want to print this. I just go up to File. I select Print. Let's see if this, and actually I cannot show you in this. Let me add another account, my Apps for PPS account.
You okay over there? What were you thinking about? What were you thinking doing that?
Okay, so now let me just go out of this and show again. So I went to File and Print. So I'm in my Google Doc. I go to File and I select Print at the bottom. And right now under Destination, it says Save as PDF because I had previously printed something as a PDF. So I'm going to click on Change. I have a couple of different Google accounts showing, so I'm going to make sure I choose my Apps for PPS. If you're logged into your Apps for PPS account, that's what's going to show, and you won't need to do this part. Select the correct one. But now under Google Cloud Print, I've got some options, and if I click Show All, and it's showing me all of the Ricoh copiers that I have access to at Franklin. So this is assuming that I am a staff member at Franklin. So as I said, the Chromebook printing will only be for staff. And if you are at multiple locations, you work at several different buildings, 2 or more buildings, you're going to need to contact the IT service desk to add all of the other locations because the printing is set up for only a single location. So whatever is marked as perhaps your primary location, that's what's going to show up. So if you need all of your other locations to show up, then just give the IT service desk a call at extension 63375, or you can email them at itservicedesk@pps.net. So then let's say I want to select the Franklin Office Ricoh printer. So I would just click on it, and now you see in Destination, it's showing that printer, and then I can hit Print, and then this page will print to that printer. Easy enough. All right. So you can go ahead and share that printing news with your buildings and your colleagues and coworkers, but that is available now. And we will be sending out more detailed instructions to access the printing and set it up in terms of when you go to file and print in the document. So if you feel like you can do that, you can help people out at your school or your building. All right. So let's see if there are any questions. I don't see any questions yet. I see that we have a couple of viewers. So let's see what other tips can I share with you? Here's another exciting tip. So let me go ahead and screen share again. So Google just announced today that Google Forms, so let me go to my Google Drive, and I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to go to More and go to Forms. And if you look at the top here, there's a new menu. So add-ons has been developed for Google Forms, which is awesome. So if I go to add-ons, I just go to Get Add-ons. And so now if you've installed add-ons to docs or sheets, this should look familiar to you. So there are, it looks like 8 add-ons right now. Oops, actually 12, because there's this other row at the bottom. So for instance, Form Fuse, it reads the structure of a Google form and converts it into a Google Apps script web app. That type of file can then be requested. Form Publisher will make your life easier. It generates Google Docs from a template using form responses. Gmath for forms, create graphs. Smart Bookkeeping, use a Google form to record financial info in your bookkeeper ledgers. So Bookkeeper looks like is an app or some kind of web-based tool. UltraDocs Trigger lets you automate your business, let the cloud work for you, trigger your workflows whenever a user submits a form. So that could be helpful. Here's a great add-on from New Visions, Form Limiter, shuts off a Google form after a max number of responses. Smartsheet, what else do we have here? Form Values, store and use selections for multiple choice. Form Notifications, Choice Eliminator, Form Ranger, allows you to populate multiple choice list and checkbox question options from columns in any sheet or Doctopus roster. And then Doc Appender appends Google Form question responses to the bottom of selected Google Docs. So if let's say I want to install Docs Appender, I just click where it says free. I get a request for permission, and I'm just going to click accept. And so now that add-on, it said it was working. There it is. It gives me some brief directions. Select a folder and drive that contains the target docs you want listed in your doc picker question. Choose the form question you want. You can learn more. I'm going to add, so now when I go to add-ons, there's Doc Appender. It just shows up. And then it will open a sidebar when I'm ready to use that add-on and set it up. So I'm going to click Get Add-ons to go back to that add-ons window. And I'm also going to install Form Ranger. So I just click on free. Click accept. And now that's installed. And then it gives me that same little box with some info about Form Ranger, but I'm going to close that. And then I'm also going to add on, let's do Form Limiter. Oops, I accidentally clicked, instead of the free button, I just clicked Form Limiter. So now I'm getting more information about it. I'm just going to click the free button. Click accept. So it looks like here in the add-ons list, I accidentally opened Form Ranger, and now Form Limiter is the last one I installed. And so it just opens this sidebar on the right, and then it's going to give me information, stuff about setting it up. So I'm actually going to close that. But so this is exciting to have add-ons for forms. And I know what a lot of people are hoping in the future for Google Forms is that there is an add-on that lets a survey taker attach something that gets put into the form. So I know that's a big ask from a lot of people. So we'll see if that happens soon. The other thing I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows is that in Google Drive, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So in our apps for PPS domain, if you haven't been following Google's education blog or any of the Google News that's online, all Google Apps for Ed customers have unlimited storage space on their domain. And so that is true for PPS. We get unlimited storage space in our drive now, whereas before it was 30 gigs. And so the unlimited space hasn't hit our domain yet. It's rolling out over the next couple of weeks. So hopefully we'll see it sometime within the next 2 weeks where we have unlimited space. I think right now, when you go to your drive, it still in the bottom left corner shows 30 gigs is what you have. So that should be coming out soon as well. That's one of the things that's awesome about Google Apps is they're constantly making updates. So I guess it's a benefit and sometimes a drawback, because if you're doing a workshop and you've created documentation and you're used to doing a workshop one way, sometimes things change so fast that you have to end up changing your workshop. But I think for the most part, it's great. The other thing I wanted to make sure that you knew is that, remember, when you're sharing documents with colleagues or you're having students share documents with you, all of your sharing, if you're entering specific people into in the sharing settings, when you can add specific people, you always enter their Google Apps account. So if someone's going to share a doc with me, they need to share it with mlim@appsforpps.net. And then it will just show up in your incoming. And remember, we have set a redirect message that will go to your pps.net email that says so-and-so shared a document with you. So just remember, whenever you're in appsforpps.net and logged into that account, any sharing of anything, whether it be a doc, a form, a spreadsheet, a slide presentation, you're always sharing with someone else's appsforpps.net, unless specifically you're sharing with somebody outside or that has a different email address that's not in the district. So that's the big news that we had today. The printing, the Google Forms add-ons, and the unlimited storage space, as well as just a reminder to use appsforpps.net accounts to do any document sharing or collaborating. So I'm going to hang out just a few more minutes and see if any questions come in. So I'm going to turn my video off just for a few minutes and also turn my audio off unless I see a question. So I just thought of something else I could demo and show you. So let me get into a document and turn my screen sharing on again. All right, so I've got a sample doc. Let's see. So here's a sample document that I've created, and I just want to go over the sharing settings again because that also changed recently, the window for the sharing settings. So in the top right, of course, is our blue share button, and by default, it's private to only me. I'm going to click on it. And so now we have this new share window, share with others. So I can enter people specifically in this field here where it says people. So again, remember this would be emblem@apps4pps.net. So I can edit, I can comment, or I can view. You can add a note, then it's going to send the message. So you can do it that way if you have specific people, and then you can also do this get shareable link, which will copy the link and turn link sharing on. But I like to go to advanced because that's what the original sharing settings window looks like. And I find it's less confusing, at least for me, to go through the sharing settings by clicking on that advanced button. So here, this should look familiar. It says private, only you can access. So if I'm going to change that, here I've got my two PPS options, but I want to change it to anyone with the link. And then remember, I have to change my access then once I choose that. So anyone can view, they can edit, or they can comment. So if I say edit, then I click save. So now anyone who has the link can edit, and I'm done. So if I click on that, and I've made those changes already, you can see right here it says anyone with the link can edit. You can turn it off. People at PPS only can edit, comment, or view, or anyone with a link can edit. So this is just a different view of it. If I click more, it goes back to this link sharing settings window. I'm going to click cancel. And then right here, it will just copy the link to the clipboard. And it's highlighting it from right here. And then I'm just going to say done. So then I could now, if I was writing an email, I could paste that link into an email, or I could use a URL shortener extension. So up here at the top, I've got some URL shorteners, and then I could get a shortened link for this if I'm doing a class, and then have people just type in the shortened link to get to this collaborative doc. All right. So it doesn't look like there are any questions. So I'm going to say, please share that news that I shared with you in the Hangout about printing, Google Forms add-ons, and the unlimited storage space. And if you have questions, we'll be back here next week at the same time. Talk to you soon.